Okay, so now that I'm done talking about semi-important topics about my channel in the midst of a completely random part of a completely random Let's Play instead of like a channel update or something ridiculous like that, ready to move on with life and fight a boss, and I have absolutely no way. Oh wait, I wanted to get some smiles. You can grind them here. Oh, Tic Tac Dude, you are so wacky with your not wanting to give away free merchandise such as smiles. Oh yeah, this is not one of my favorite bosses. It might be my least favorite. Yes, it's another little baby thing sitting on top of a big thing. I don't know why 3 bosses in the game are that, and then the other 2 aren't, including the final boss. It just seems very bizarre. I forgot to comment on that in the first bosses because I kind of forgot how this game went, and I kind of hate this boss, particularly this part of it. The second part is kind of good because it has little chickens flying everywhere. But, oh, yeah, I really hate this. But, they're kind of easy to avoid, but I'm just generally just wanting to get out of this phase so quickly I don't pay attention to anything else. I mean, it's really not hard. They just go across the floor and you don't get hit by them and it's all good, but yep, there are these exploding babies. I don't know, I guess they're supposed to be vultures, because that looks like a vulture to me, but man, this is one ugly boss. Now I'm really seeing it in like full screen. Anyway, you have to hit the smaller one on top of it. This boss doesn't make any sense. Why is it a giant bird with a tiny bird on top of it, and ugly, and oh, only 3 hits left. It gets faster as time goes on, but it's not really a huge deal, because in easy mode, it's pretty hard to get a giant pile of chickens like I just did. I keep calling normal mode easy mode, because it basically is the easiest mode, so yeah, this is what happens to me a lot. I'm pretty bad at this boss, considering after you miss one, you're pretty much like horribly confused for the rest of it. I do kind of like how each one of them holds 1 earring in its mouth, but it's not enough to redeem the boss from being my least favorite. And ironically, the boss I saved for last, or the level boss instead of the final boss I saved for last, is my favorite. Not exactly sure how that's overwhelmingly ironic, but I don't know, I mostly tend to use the word ironic for when I'm being sarcastic, except in a less not mean-spirited way, but whatever. More of a surreal way. But anyway, finally back to the Emerald Passage. Only 2 levels left here, although this is one of my least favorite levels, and I think the other one is my other least favorite level. Definitely in this passage, and probably for like the entire game. I just really don't like this. Despite the fact that it's the easiest and these aren't actually overwhelmingly hard, they're just not likable in my opinion. I do like this music a lot, though. Yeah, this game has some pretty friggin' good music. I mean, nothing addictive that you'll remember when you're not listening to it, but it's very atmospheric and fits the game quite well. I like ones that are just playing catchy songs. But yeah, I really like the do-do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do. I think that's like the, yeah, it's very remix of the main theme, I think. Doot-doot-doot. I always like these purple pipes. I mean, I said that in an earlier part, but they're like a nice little corruption of a classic Mario icon. So, yep, if you're good at that, you can get it. I've been pretty practiced, and for some reason you can't interact with Mallet when he's underwater, and he has Kirby's goggles. And why do snorkels underwater make you not drown when they're not sticking out from the water? That seems to be like a staple of video games I just don't understand. I mean, taking logic into account is one thing, but that just seems weird to, if you're gonna say they can breathe underwater, why bother putting a snorkel on them? I mean, I guess it signifies that it's underwater time, but these things really piss me off because they're actually like instantaneous instead of like you have to wait for them to spawn, or maybe not. I forget how they work, but they're very annoying and they actually kill me in the harder mode, which is rather awful, and they also have too big of a range considering they're just tiny eyes. I think that one's, yep, that's empty. They also vaguely remind me of the frogs/lizards from Kirby 64, except they're not horrible and ugly. Or, yeah, the ones in Kirby 64 aren't horrible and ugly like these guys. There's something down there, might as well go check it out. I sincerely doubt it's anything important like a piece of the thingy, but if it is, I'd hate to miss it. No, it's just a diamond. A diamond in the rough. Whoops. Alright, you have to... Yeah, I do have to say, this game isn't too bad about where its secrets are, because you can see pretty obviously those. Alright, I don't know what is supposed to be happening up here. Is there part of it I'm missing, or is it just if you're like a super completionist, you get some extra enemies to stomp? Because as far as I can tell, there's nothing that you break up here. And yeah, I really don't get that. Always confused me as a kid too, I think. It's always good when I'm getting opposite sides, as if I had somehow missed one. Oh, I hate it when that happens, but not the worst thing. Here's like one puzzle piece, or I don't know what to call them, the pieces of the treasure you need to get to the boss. There's one that's like, I think it's moved in hard mode, that's like up here. Yeah, I don't think that's in not hard mode, but it's in there, and it confused me because I was used to basically just automatically getting all the pieces because I was experienced with the game back in the day. Yeah, weird association I have is I associate this level kind of with Lord of the Rings, because one time I was playing this while listening to an audiobook of Lord of the Rings, and just a random tidbit about myself no one would really care about because it's not interesting. Oh well. Whoops. I hate how those things have spikes on them. And it was for no reason either. Oh well. I like swimming quickly. And there's some stuff. You can see keys are there. This is really reeking of one of the levels where I end up having to, you know, what do I have to end up doing? Oh yeah, going through it again because I missed one of the thingies. This is a pretty simple one. You just need to run over here and get up the ladder before he falls. It is in the first world. And here goes nothing. Stopping the waterfall from that frog thing stops this current. You can go in here and through this giant octopus, which for the life of me, it looks like it's from some other game, and I can't place what. I mean, there are octopi that look like that in other Wario Land games, but is this a specific reference to something? Because it looks like it might be. And it's upsetting me that I don't know what it is, if it is. Okay, I'll definitely get out of the level in the time I have left. Might end up just, like, off-screening my way back to the other piece of the treasure that I missed. Oh, I sure love this part. I tend to die here sometimes, which is annoying, considering it's the end of the level, and I'm, like, just panicking and trying to get out quickly before I'm killed by something retarded like a chestnut, or whatever you want to call those. Okay, it actually is there, so hooray, never have to go in this bloody waste of a level again. Alright, there's that thing. I'll go in it for the sake of going in it since I have plenty of time. And now, time for CD. Wow, I completely got everything anyone who isn't going for a high score would care about in this level, and didn't die doing it, and kind of proud of myself, even though it's the freaking level 1-3. Not supposed to be overwhelmingly hard. And actually that's supposed to be silver, but it really looks like it has a green tint to it, because I know I scored worse than that, got a bronze or something, maybe. I don't know, it's weird colored. I guess it's differentiated from the platinum you might be able to get if I'm not misremembering, which I probably am. Around what time did platinum start becoming, like, accepted? If there was going to be a bronze, gold, silver, there's eventually a platinum you could work up to. Was that, oh, whoops, for some reason I thought selecting that would, like, bring me in this room and not immediately warp me in, but yeah, how long has that been around? I know a lot, in the good old days, it just used to be gold as the best one, but I think around the era of Donkey Kongo's Bongo Adventure, they started having, like, platinum stuff is doing ridiculously well. But anyway, maybe I just didn't do well at all back in the olden days, and I started being good enough to find such platinum achievements in games. But counter irregardlessly, Monsoon Jungle is a level that we will do in the next part. Another one I'm not overwhelmingly fond of. It's really horrible if you're trying to go for, like, all the secrets and everything. But other than that, it's pretty simple. Just loot everything of importance out of. So I will smell you at a later date.